Today on episode 232 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our college football weekend preview, our new team builder, the NFL pick show for week one, and a TCF top 3 of college football stadiums. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Today is episode 232. Make sure to check us out on X at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like as well. For all of our content in video form, we are on YouTube. Just type in Typical Chicago Fans. Hit that red subscribe button. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. Subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars, whatever you can do, wherever you get your podcasts. Tell a friend, tell a couple more friends. You guys know how it goes. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF, but you can also follow Zach there at ZLiliaTCF. Maddie's not here with us tonight, but he is on Twitter at schools_01. Zach, it's Friday night. NFL week one is right. I mean, it started. It started Thursday night. There's a game going on right now. My Packers are playing. Football's back, baby.
Yeah, I don't really understand the Brazil game. That makes no sense. It seems like they weren't even allowed to get out of their hotels. They were on like 10-hour flights to get there. Sounds pretty awful for one football game.
And I don't know if you're watching the game, but I've got it on right now over here. And like the field conditions don't seem great.
Well, they're playing on soccer fields.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I get, like, they said that Brazil has expanded in the last however many years from 3 million fans to 38 million fans. That's why they're doing it. It's because they know they can fill up a stadium. They know they can make money off it. But, like, what are we doing here? These are two teams that are hoping to be in the playoffs, and we're playing anywhere in the world
and sell out.
Yeah, I get it. But and I hate to be this guy, but, like, send the New England Patriots there. They suck. Send the New Orleans Saints there.
They want a good team.
I get that, but like it doesn't feel like they do that for England. They maybe send one good team every year, and there's 5 games there.
I guess maybe it's just the first time. Have they played in Brazil before?
No, I think this is the first one.
Maybe it'll be the last.
I hope so. This is, like I said, I get it. There's tons of money there, but
there's money everywhere in the NFL.
I would be willing to bet if this was 2 other teams playing, I wouldn't care less. But since the Packers are playing, now I hate it. So kind of like we've talked about in the past when the Bears played over in, was it Germany or something?
Yeah, I think they could go anywhere and sell out a stadium.
Yeah, 100%. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, right?
Because fans will go to the game. I mean, you see how many Eagles fans are there. Like, people are going to travel.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. And those people in those countries pick a team, and, you know, especially if this is one of the teams they pick.
NFL fans are crazy people.
Yes. You are not wrong. How's the weather treating you this week?
Like I said, I'm going golfing at 8:30 tomorrow morning. It's supposed to be 45 degrees. It's going to be dressed really warm. But then by the end of the afternoon, it'll be like a decent 65.
Yep.
But in the mornings, it's going to be cold. And then next week, you said back in the 80s. So we're in a weird time of year. Baby. It's a weird time of year. Like, we're not really to fall yet, but
it's like pre-fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's been
weather
beautiful.
Has no idea what to do with itself.
Yeah, this week has been absolutely beautiful. But like I said, I think it's supposed to heat up again next week. I will be in South Bend, Indiana, when this episode comes out here on Saturday for the NIU Notre Dame game. Yeah. I think, like you said, Zach, 60-ish degrees. Zach, I got to tell you, though, I've been talking a lot of trash on Twitter for a guy who knows his team's probably going to get beat by 50 points.
Oh, I mean, Notre Dame just went to Texas A&M and beat them.
I have not I should have taken a step back. Like, I'm going to be 34 next week, and I should have taken a step back and realized that I'm going there to cheer on a team that's most likely going to get 50-pieced, but that didn't stop me from running my mouth on Twitter.
If you're Notre Dame, no offense, but they don't really care.
Yeah.
That you said that.
Some people on Twitter cared.
Well, that's just the bots.
No, these were South Bend Troll, I think, was one of them I got into it with, so.
Well, that sounds like that's just his job.
Yeah, that is fair. But it should be a fun game, man. I'm excited.
Those games NIU's going there to
collect a
say that
paycheck,
they got to play at Notre Dame.
and they're probably getting $1 million+ to come play.
So it's a good day for NIU.
Good day for NIU. We're going to have a good day. So we'll get in a little bit more to that here in a little bit. Let's jump in, as always, sinkers and floaters. All right, Zach, my sinker this week is the city of Philadelphia. And I've been over this a million times. I hate Philadelphia. I hate the fans. I had a horrible experience there when I was 12 years old the first time we went to the Phillies game. But the city of Philadelphia is in it this week because there are rumors going around. There's twofold. There's rumors going around that the 76ers are looking to move back to New Jersey where they were back in, I want to say, like the 60s. I feel
like
70s.
That will never happen. There's no reason for that.
I don't disagree, but it's all on stadium stuff, and that's part of that's the biggest reason the Rams moved back to LA. You've seen it before a million times. But worse than that, Zach, way worse than losing the 76ers. This past week, hundreds of people gathered in Philadelphia this week for the 15th annual Philly Naked Bike Ride. And whatever you do, don't go Google this, folks. It's not something
Can't they
you
all just get public indecency?
I would hope so, because this is insane. You are not required to be completely nude, it says, telling people to go as bare as you dare is their tagline.
And ride a bike.
12-mile ride. Thing. Zach, a 12-mile ride naked on a bike?
That's just...
Excuse me?
One thing you don't want to do naked is ride a bike.
There's a laundry list of things you don't want to do naked. Get on a bicycle is in the top 5.
Might be number 1.
It might be, but yeah. So tough week in Philadelphia, and hopefully their football team walks away with a loss.
That's just a bad idea all around.
Yeah, who thought of that?
I guess people who like to ride bikes naked.
Those people should be put on a list.
Yeah, that's just like an easy, like, okay, we got them.
Yeah, exactly. You would think that, right? But what do I know?
My sinker is Colorado football. I'm over it. I'm over this. They beat North Dakota State barely, and they had this big party in the locker room.
Big X the plug.
Yeah, it's just, you just barely beat North Dakota week 1. Maybe don't have a party in the locker room. And I know they're going to say, oh, just let the teams have fun. It fuels the fire of everything. And I think they know what they're doing, but it seems like a lot of people want Colorado football to lose.
I'm completely with you. I was a big Deion fan for a little bit, and I have completely flipped to the other side. Like,
just taking it too far. Like, when
I really started to flip
to the Denver media.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, I get, like you said, man, he keeps the team, he keeps himself in the headlines. Like, I get it, but like, you're also insanely annoying, and your football team's not good. So quit walking around like, you're the cock of the walk here because you're in the Big 12. Like, enough of it.
Yeah,
I'm so over Colorado. I hope they don't win another game the rest of the season.
I'm definitely cheering for Nebraska.
Yeah, I never thought either one of us would make that statement, but I think we're both cheering for the Cornhuskers this week.
Because at first you're like, the first season, it's like, oh, okay, Colorado, fun to watch, whatever. But it just seems like they don't want to be liked.
Yeah, they're making it hard to like them.
Yeah.
And it, like you said, that TCU game last year was insane. That was one of the funnest college football games I've watched in years. But now it's to a point. Like,
without Travis Hunter, that they lose that game.
No, 100%.
Against
100%.
North Dakota State.
Junior Sanders, also not very good.
Travis Hunter, though, he is so good.
Yes, I would agree there. Completely agree. Yeah, big game tomorrow for the Buffaloes and the Cornhuskers. Moving to my floater, something I talked about earlier, knocking something off the bucket list when this comes out on Saturday. Not a Notre Dame fan, but getting to go to see a college football game at Notre Dame Stadium with my alma mater and the team I've been watching since they were the worst college football team in the country back in the mid 90s is going to be pretty sweet. So I'll be at the NIU Notre Dame game on Saturday, possibly just, doing a little tailgating, walking around, taking it all in. And hopefully the Huskies can put up a little bit of a fight.
Yeah, good for you. I mean, that'll be fun.
Yeah, and it's turning into a little double-edged thing. My wife and I's 8th anniversary on Tuesday, so happy anniversary early to my wife. So this is kind of part of our little anniversary present to each other. We got tickets super cheap, so I can't complain too much. It'll be a good day with some good people. There's a lot of people
in that stadium.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, obviously, I've been to a ton of NIU games. Me and you went to the Northwestern game a couple years back, but I've never been to a football game outside of an NFL game with this many people.
That'll be fun.
I'm excited. A little bit. Yep, at Booming TCF on when you see this, I'll make sure to be.
It may not be fun for very long.
What'd you say?
It may not be fun for very long.
I'm a holding out hope. If I could, I would bet. Maybe is gambling legal in Indiana?
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe as soon as I get across the border, little Huskies money line.
Well, you might want to do it before, just in case. I'm not sure.
I can't do it before because NIU's playing in the game.
Oh, true. Well, then hopefully you can.
We'll see.
That is just still crazy to me.
Yeah.
My floater is backyard baseball. It is back. They haven't really put out a date yet, but they say in the coming months. That was my favorite game, and hopefully they make it for like PlayStation 4, please.
It's going to be on 5 and not 4.
I know, but it's exciting. I think that's cool.
So that's one of the games. Like, I obviously played it a lot with. I mean, you and my brother, little over 3 years, a little under 4 years younger than me. I remember playing it with you guys, and you guys loved it, and I got it. It was just kind of one of those, like, it just barely missed my age. You know what I mean? Like, you guys, that was,
it's a cool game, and I'm going to be surprised to see how they make it into, like, a PlayStation game or whatever, or what they keep from before, and it's just something cool that you never would have. It's like one of those things it's just kind of makes you remind you of your childhood. But backyard baseball is back, but they just keep, like, every day it's on Instagram. They just hint at it. It's just like, come on, just say it.
I also think there's something about, like, the anticipation of it in the sense of, like, now you start to think about all those games we played at around that age and be like, I wonder if they decided to take, like, let's say, for example, like Twisted Metal. You remember how popular that was on PlayStation? Like, what if they decided to make that in next gen consoles? Like, it just kind of gets that, or like Simpsons.
Well, and they had like backyard football and stuff. If they could go to that too, like if they're going to keep making games like that.
No, for sure. I'm excited.
It's also cool to think of the current players that'll be in it.
Yeah, that is true too. I didn't even think about that.
That was the big thing that they had former players or that were current players then, and so you'll see, like, be cool to see who they pick from Major League Baseball now.
That is true. I didn't even think about that aspect of it. I kind of forgot that all those MLB guys were in, or a bunch of those MLB guys were in the game at that in that time period. So, it'll be interesting. So we'll keep people updated. We might have to get in on that when that comes out. Let's jump into the TCF Sports Minute, as always. The Cubbies drop one today on Friday to the Yankees.
Season's over. I'm sorry to say this, Boomy. I'm so mad right now. Those first two losses, Monday, Tuesday, to the Pirates, it was over with. When they blew that game Monday, that was awful.
Was Monday when they blew the lead?
Yeah, when they blew the lead in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't have around Tuesday, lose 5-0. But at least that was Paul Skeens. Yeah. But then Wednesday they go out, win. Then you play the Yankees on a pretty emotional day for the Yankees, you would say, because their first baseman was going through all that, and then you lose 3-0.
Yeah.
So it's over.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to get back into this.
And I don't disagree. And, like, we have a sour taste in our mouth right now because obviously another, 3 out of 4 losses. But, like, here's what I'm saying, though. They win Saturday. They win Sunday. I'm probably singing a different tune on Monday.
But the thing is, Braves win tonight 5 games out. So then you got to hope for the Braves to lose.
Yeah.
Or the Mets. and it's just that gets tough. And they're playing the Blue Jays, who really aren't in the playoff hunt. So it's just you got to hope a lot happens and win.
I will say that, I mean, at least we've gotten to a point where I didn't have to cancel my marquee subscription, before the end of the season.
A little bit to September.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter because even if I cancel now, it's still
now it doesn't matter. Now you're in the
end of the month,
home stretch anyways.
Yep, exactly. So it is what it is, but hopefully, I don't know, dude. I agree, but crazier things have happened. The Cubs were up 3.5 with 2 weeks left last year and lost.
This is just a team that I know just won't make that run because if they would have done it at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, they've had some nice pieces come together. I mean, PCA is turning into a really good
going in the off season, knowing what we have. But they just really let this starting pitching down.
Yes, they did. Bullpen's been, finally starting to pick a couple pieces up.
Bullpen has been top 10 in the league probably
in the last month plus.
Yeah, but I'm just saying all season they've kept it together in a way. I mean, Hector Neris.
No, the first 3 months they had the most blown saves in baseball.
Hector Neris. But I'm saying overall, dude, if you take their overall season, they're doing that pretty well.
I feel like you might be right. I would like to see the breakdown of the other. I don't know if
if it wasn't for Adbert Alzolay and Hector Neris, they're having a good season.
Yeah, you're probably right. It just feels like the bullpen was just such a pain in those first 2 months, and then the bullpen figured out. Then the offense went cold. Now the offense gets hot, and then it's never all there, and it hasn't been all there all year. Like the offense is, what was it, 99 runs in 10 games or something like that?
Yeah, it's a joke. And then they turn around. 91 runs is like 4 wins. We still need. It's just. Then they're not doing scored 12 runs randomly. It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Yep. At least on the other side, we'll do a quick update here on the White Sox. White Sox sit at 32-110. Still very much in the hunt for the worst record of all time.
At this point.
I feel like it's going to happen. They have to win, 10 more games?
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, I don't see this team winning 10 games between now and the end of September.
Luis Robert got hurt, or Robert, sorry.
I saw that.
Maybe he's just tapping out in the season.
I would be. I would have done it a month ago.
And really, truthfully, we'll have a lot of time to talk about it, but I just don't see anything that's going to happen this offseason that'll make them better.
No, and we've talked about this.
They won't get better because there's no way they're going to be this bad next year, you would think.
Statistically, there's no way.
There's no way. Did they have 2 of the worst seasons in a row?
But even I think we talked about this on here. If they were to follow the biggest turnaround that's ever been set in MLB history, I think it's 36 games. So let's say this team wins 36. If they match the biggest turnaround, that still only puts them at 72 wins. That's not a playoff team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just not there.
It's going to be around 100 losses again next year. That's crazy.
Yeah, and with really no end in sight, to be completely honest with you.
No.
Yeah, they've had some high draft picks, but they're going to have a lot of pieces hit here.
And spend some money, and they won't do that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But Jerry Reinsdorf, baby. We got to get into it. The Bears kick off the season Sunday at noon at home against the Titans. We're less than 48 hours away, Zach. How you feeling?
I'm excited. This is the most excited I've been for a playoff or for a Bears season. And it just seems like it's just taken forever to get to this point, but we're finally almost there.
Well, it doesn't help that you had your first preseason game in July.
Well, yeah, then Caleb Williams gets drafted, and then it just seems like it's just taken forever. But we are here.
Did you see the stat that said something like a rookie quarterback has not won a week 1 game in the last 24 games or 24 starts? Does that worry you a little bit?
Sam Darnold was the last win.
Was he the last one?
Yeah. I thought I heard that. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stats like that throughout the season. There's a lot of random stats. I mean, yes, that's crazy, but it's not really that crazy if you think about it. Usually, if you're a number one pick and you're starting, the team probably isn't that good.
Yeah, that is true.
The next season, the Bears is something that will maybe never happen again, where they get number one pick and your team looks like it does, because that just doesn't happen. You don't get the number one pick usually unless you're the
After
worst team.
7 wins, yeah.
You know what I mean? So a little different, but there'll be ups and downs.
All right, so the 3.5-point favorite. You still think they're covering 3.5? I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, I think 3.5 will be covered. It's just crazy to think though. Like finally they're back to the point where they're favored at home.
Yeah, it's been a while. Over is set at 44.5. What are you thinking there?
Probably under. It's always a weird first game of the year.
I feel like the first game of the year is either super high over, like they're going to blow it out of the water and each team's going to
it
score
will be
like
a beautiful
30,
day though.
or no one's going to score, you know?
Probably
But that's
perfect
just
temperature for a football game.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I'm just excited. I'm ready for it to start.
Where would you? Okay, so obviously, we've talked about your and Maddie's excitement level, for months now. If something goes wrong and they don't play well, they walk away with a close loss. Like, where do you think you sit there?
I'll be all right. It's just depending on how Caleb Williams looks. You can tell. I know even if he doesn't play well, you'll be able to tell if he's ready to be a NFL starter for a whole game. We've seen it for one half, one quarter, but we haven't seen it for a full game.
How long do you give before either way where you're like, holy cow, this is the guy, or holy cow, this is not the guy?
I mean, at this point, we have no choice. Like you want to go back looking for another quarterback. And I think you just got to give it time too.
Right. Like you said,
you can go out there and play amazing, but you also could go out there and play average, and the running backs have a great game. You just got to see how it goes.
It's definitely a process, and I think that you're. I'm just asking these because you're going to see the takes on Twitter. Like his first interception, somebody's going to be like, "This is not the guy," or the first touchdown, be like, "This guy might be the greatest quarterback of all time." So,
a lot of haters.
Oh, of course. Anything else on the Bears before we move on?
Really, no. I mean, it's just time to play the game, and you'll be a lot more to talk about next week, I think. You know what I mean? Because I just think that you've seen the hard knocks, you've seen all this. It's just time to play football and see what they can do.
It is feeling nice. I got the Packers game on right here, and it does feel
just because you haven't seen the starters play football in 3 weeks, pretty much.
Yeah, that's true. It has been
once the game starts, because you haven't seen them since the third game, technically, of preseason, and then no one played in the last one.
Yeah, and then they had the week off. So it's been a hot minute. It is a reassuring feeling. Like I said, I got the Packers game on right here, to be back where we're like emotionally living and dying on. The Packers just gave up a deep ball for a touchdown, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, I haven't felt this in a while. Obviously, but also, Cubs have,
I know we want more football, but the Friday game seems kind of forced.
Big time forced. Big time.
Because there's a Saturday game, isn't there?
No, there's not a Saturday game. That's usually only at the end of the season when college football is. But
also only one Monday night game too,
which I don't hate. I
don't either, but usually they have two.
Yeah, it's been at least since COVID they've had two. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Before we finish up, the Sky have been on a skid here. They've lost like 4 in a row. They're playing in LA right now.
A lot of close games.
Yeah, and they still are holding in the last playoff spot, but if they keep playing like this, it doesn't matter. And I'm all in. I love Angel Reese. I love the Sky. Caitlin Clark's the rookie of the year. I'm tired of seeing this argument online. This is so stupid. Angel Reese has set the record for rebounds, but let's not kid ourselves. A ton of those rebounds have come off her own misses. I'm not trying to take it away, like that those are still rebounds, but Caitlin Clark is just a different animal right now.
Wearing the Dennis Rodman jersey.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I see
Angel
it
Reese
less
was
and
wearing the
less.
Dennis Rodman jersey.
The what?
Angel Reese was wearing the Dennis Rodman jersey.
And I
It's like,
love that.
hey, I love it. That's how she
I
plays.
love it, but
But she scores more.
Caitlin Clark is just. It feels like at times she's just playing a different sport out there.
Yeah, but you got Shaquille O'Neal at the where do they play at?
Wintrust.
Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal
Yeah,
was there because of Angel Reese. So
absolutely. So, before we move on, we got to give a big shout out to our sponsors over at Connect Roasters Coffee. They have the best coffee around that you are going to find. I promise you that. They work with Don Frederick. They work with Ian Happy. So, you know, it's good quality
my
coffee.
sister actually just stopped by there the other day,
Oh,
on her way to Indianapolis, and met up with Caleb at the warehouse. He was there.
that's awesome. Caleb, one of the all-time guys.
He says we gotta get him back in the podcast soon.
Absolutely. It's been way too long. So make sure you check them out, connectroasters.com. Follow them on X at Connect Roasters. And just like Zach's sister did, if you're in Bourbonnais or heading through, make sure you stop at the storefront there and get some good coffee. I promise you guys will not be disappointed. Make sure you check out connectroasters.com. So as always, a big shout out to our friends over in Bourbonnais at Connected Roasters. Zach, we got some big college football games this weekend. Let's go through 5 of the biggest ones that we got listed here. The biggest one, I think, of the weekend, Texas at Michigan. What do you think? I think that Texas is going to kill them, but that might just be
I
because
hope they do.
I hate Michigan.
I do too. But this is a great game for week 2.
Yeah, big time.
These are fun games when teams that usually don't ever play.
100%. Texas on the road at Michigan, 7-point favorites, though.
That's crazy, though. I think I would take the number, but I think it's going to be a good game.
I just don't see Michigan going down without a fight in the big house.
Not at home. I mean,
Texas.
that place is just insane.
I could be wrong, but I just think they're going to put up at least a bit of a fight there and keep it tight.
I'm not saying that Texas is going to lose, but I think it'll be like a field goal if they win.
Yep. I was kind of thinking.
It's like a low-scoring game.
Yep, that is true. Kansas State at Tulane. This is going to be a good one. Kansas State ranks 17th in the country. Remember how good Tulane was last year? People said if it was a 12-team playoff last year, they would have been in.
I think Tulane doesn't want this game.
I agree. I know this is at Tulane.
Yeah, but this is one of those ones like, okay, we wanted to play some big-time teams. Maybe we didn't.
Yeah, you wanted to play a big-time team last year. I don't think
Kansas State is a powerhouse organization. Or not powerhouse school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have ways of NILs and stuff. I mean, they're going to have a good team. And Tulane, unfortunately, maybe they could have a really good team that could maybe make a playoff, but I don't think they want Kansas State.
Especially not in their second game of the year. Maybe you have a season like last year where you have one loss, right? Going into maybe.
You want to play Kansas State in the first game of the playoff. You don't want to play them in the regular season.
Exactly. Yeah, this is tough. I think in Kansas State, 8.5-point favorites. I think they're going to cover that pretty easily. I think
it's a cool game for like if you go to Tulane.
Oh, 100%. You get a top 20 team in the country coming into
to play you
E5 school
at home, and that's cool. But I think it's going to be sad at the end of the day.
I unfortunately agree with you. I would like to see them, the Green Wave, pull it off. I just don't think they have the firepower there. A game that's probably going to bore your eyeballs out of your head. Iowa and Iowa State. Iowa's a 2-point favorite. I think the Hawkeyes are going down. I don't think Iowa's very good.
I don't think they are either.
And I think that Vegas is telling you that by only making them a 2-point favorite.
But yeah, this is going to be one of those games where you're going to look in the third quarter, it might be 14-7.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. I think Iowa State is maybe not getting as much love as they probably should. I don't think they played great last weekend, but I don't know. I'm just kind of over Iowa, and I'm tired of watching football.
It always seems like that's the case with Iowa State. It's like well, Iowa State's good, but it's like Iowa State, they're just getting overlooked every year, but then they lose a big game.
Right. Remember they had, was it Chuba Hubbard and Brock Purdy, and they still
Yeah.
only made it to, the Alamo Bowl or something.
You look back at some of their teams, maybe they would have made the playoff in the format that it is now, but a lot of teams could say that.
Right. And I also don't think that if they would have made the playoffs and obviously anything can happen,
Yeah.
but like those teams were not playoff
No.
caliber. They weren't good enough to win 2 games, and get to a title game. But what do I know? Next one I have listed, kind of a slower week in the top 25, but kind of local, kind of not. Kansas goes to Illinois. Illinois, only a 4.5-point dog against a very good Kansas team.
I think it's the same thing as Tulane. I
Dude, I
don't think you want that
disagree.
game. I think
If
Kansas is going to beat them pretty bad.
I don't think Kansas is as good as they were last year.
I know, but dude, that's
And Kansas barely beat Illinois last year, if I remember correctly.
so it's one of those ones like a home and away.
Yeah.
And it's another one that's cool. Kansas going to Illinois. That's a cool game.
And I also think Kansas and Illinois play like this is not they have a home and away thing, but they play quite a bit. They're very similar football programs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like
it's a big game for them, but still, it's just like Kansas. Every year you want them to be like, okay, they're a football school now, but it's just like it's hard.
Yeah. I agree. I just think I don't even like Illinois, but I hope they win this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a cool game. Is like if Illinois, especially with almost winning last year, it's almost like a rivalry if you play that many times.
Yeah. Well, and let's not beat around the bush. Illinois did not look great against Eastern Illinois, who's a very average 1AA team.
Because with the facility that Illinois has now, they have to beat teams like Kansas.
Right, they have to beat Kansas because they're never going to beat Ohio State. They're never going to beat Michigan. Illinois is never.
Hey, people who maybe are looking at scholarships, you come to this game.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to
maybe sit out
the conference. The conference games are going to be tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last one that I had listed, Tennessee, number 14, Tennessee heads to NC State, who's ranked 24th. Tennessee is -9. I think they're going to cover every bit of that because I think they have the best quarterback in the country.
Yeah, but -9 on the road still is crazy. I mean, that's a lot of respect.
NC State did not look very good against.
Well, no,
I can't remember who they played last.
That's over a touchdown win on the road.
I don't know how to pronounce the kid's name, but Nico Imaleva. Kid's a stud. I think he's easily the best quarterback in the country, if you ask my opinion. But NC State struggled with Western Carolina last week.
You think that after one game?
Dude, this kid, I mean, granted, he played a little bit last year at the end of the season, but this kid is, what do you have last week? Like 3, let me look it up here real quick. He was 22 of 28 for 315 yards and 3 touchdowns and didn't play the third quarter.
That's crazy.
He might not have even played the second half. But 9, like you said, 9 is a lot of points.
Yeah, on the road.
I will give you that. I will give you that.
Against a ranked opponent.
That is true. All the other games, I mean, a lot of 17-point spreads.
First few weeks, something like Alabama's playing some horrible teams usually.
Yeah, Alabama's playing South Florida. I mean, Ole Miss is playing Middle Tennessee.
It's like if you're not playing a ranked opponent, you're playing just somebody horrible.
Yes. That Georgia is -53.5 in their game.
Who do they play?
Tennessee Tech, who's 1AA.
You see.
Honestly, the closest spread I think I'm seeing here, Georgia Tech -3 at Syracuse.
See, that's a respectable line. I mean, on the road still. -9 is crazy.
Yeah, that should be a good game. I just still don't think Georgia Tech's very good.
In Syracuse,
I might take Syracuse money line there. I don't hate that.
Like they're due for a few big wins every year.
Yeah, and Georgia Tech's a little, still living off that week 0 win, but It should be an interesting week. And I did find out, Zach, Notre Dame is minus 28 tomorrow against the Huskies. So it's got to cover 28.
It's a lot of points, Boomy.
Over is 44.5. So I do love that over.
If you take Notre Dame, you might as well take the over.
I think 44.5 still seems. I don't think NIU is going to win this game 18-15.
No, I think they're going to score at least a little bit, especially if for some reason. However, if they win by 28, they're going to probably let NIU score at some point.
Yeah, but I also think that Notre Dame still, if they are going to cover they're going to try. That over looks really good because I think they're going to try and put up 50, 60 points.
They might be able to.
Maybe I'll just do that when I cross into Indiana and just throw as much as I can on the over there.
If we're correct.
Exactly. Let's move on. We got a new team builder this week. As you can tell, me and Zach, big food guys, if you haven't noticed by some of our drafts. So we are doing $9 worth of sides here. Zach's going to throw it up on the screen. There it is. The $4 row, baked potato, mozzarella sticks, and cheesecake. The $3 row, hush puppies, fries, fried pickles. The $2 row, mac and cheese, coleslaw, fried okra. And the $1 row, green beans, corn on the cob, and broccoli. Do you want to go first and spend your $9, Zachary?
Yes, I would.
All right, let's hear it.
You know what? I'm going nothing in the top row for sure. I'm going fries, fried pickles for $6. And then I'm going to go mac and cheese, corn on the cob, $9.
I don't hate what you did there at all.
But you see, like that top row, I'm just not a mozzarella sticks fan.
See, I am going to completely disagree with you here. I'm going mozzarella sticks. Give me the fried pickles. I wish I could take hush puppies, but fried pickles gives you more value, I feel like, at $3. I love hush puppies, but those should probably replace fried okra in the $2 menu. So let's see. I'm at 7. Get the bottom row out of here. Green beans stink. Broccoli stinks. Corn on the cob I do like. However,
chill out.
But give me the mac and cheese. I'm going to keep it nice and simple. Mozzarella, that's a great side platter, an appetizer platter. Mozzarella sticks, fried pickles, and mac and cheese
too. That mac and cheese looks yummy.
Dude, I'm saying like that. If a restaurant offered that as like their sampler platter, I'd be all in, and I would gladly.
It's something like B-dubs would have.
100%. Have the little cup of mac and cheese sitting there on the side. Have you ever had fried okra? Is my question.
No.
Pretty solid. It's definitely a southern thing. I don't dislike it. It's similar to fried pickles without.
Never had hush puppies either.
Oh, dude, what? You've never had hush puppies?
I don't think so. What's a hush puppy?
Oh, Zach. You never went to Long John Silver's as a kid.
I definitely did with your dad when we were state basketball.
That's what I'm saying. I figured you'd have had them there. They were with every meal.
Oh no.
I love hush puppies. And also, I'll go ahead and say it. Long John Silver's gets a lot of hate for something that's pretty darn good. I'm tired of the Long John Silver's hate. Those fish planks.
I don't eat fish, so.
What can you do? I love seafood.
No hate on it, just don't eat fish.
Those fish planks were something else, and I'm tired that people just rag on it all the time. And those
a lot with your dad.
Yep, absolutely. He was a big.
Well, Fridays we couldn't eat meat, so we always had to go there.
That is true. We always go there right between the two sessions for state basketball. Zach, it is time. It is the return of my favorite segment of the show that we probably do in general. It is the NFL Pick Show. We are in week 1. So let me run through this. We started this during COVID in 2020. So our standings, I won in 2020. I also won in 2021. Matt won in 22. Zach won in 23. So I'm probably going to win it this year. So that'll move me to 3 wins. If not, these guys tie me for the all-time lead. So if you haven't seen this before, haven't joined us before, we picked 2 of the noon games, 2 afternoon games, the Sunday night game, and the Monday night. We're just picking spreads here. No over-unders, no none of that. So, Zach, do you want to start off with your noon games?
Oh, we're not doing spreads?
No, we're just doing spreads, not over-unders.
Oh, okay, sorry. Bears -4 at home versus Titans. And then the Texans -3 at Indianapolis. I think the Colts are not going to be very good this year. I have no faith in Anthony Richardson.
I love Anthony Richardson, and also a divisional game on the road. I'm not going to take that game because there is a lot of question marks there with Anthony Richardson coming back from the injury. However, I am going to go the opposite of you. Give me the Titans. I think 4 is a lot of points to cover with a rookie quarterback. I think there's, and I know everybody's excited, and as you should be, but I don't dislike Will Levis.
He seems like a nice guy.
I think Will Levis is kind of been forgotten about in the most part of
I have a question.
NFL circles.
Are the Titans already in Chicago, or how long out do you get there?
Usually you get in Friday, but it all depends. I know when the Packers come to Chicago, they come in on Saturday. So
fly. I'm guessing they fly.
Oh yeah, 100%. Even the Packers fly into Chicago, so
that's crazy.
And it's only 2 hours, but I just
how
think
long
that
are they in the air for?
Are you talking about when Green Bay comes to Chicago?
Yeah, are they in the air for like 10 minutes?
Maybe 30 minutes.
That'd be wild.
Maybe. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. I just think that's a lot of points for a rookie quarterback. And like I said, I'm not trying to poo-poo everything, but like week 1 of the regular season is going to be a lot different than the preseason. And I just think that I feel like they are a better football team, but I think it's going to be close. And I think whoever wins this is going to win by a field goal either way. So I will take the underdog there. I am also going to go. I hate that I'm going to do this, but New Orleans -4. They're at home, and I still think Carolina is at least 2 years away, if not more. But I think New Orleans being at home, the Dome got renovated this past summer. If you haven't seen, I think that they at least have a little bit more veteran experience than Carolina does. Carolina's so young. They have, there's talented guys there. And I think that Bryce Young has to have a good year. I think he will be better this year than he was last year, but that's not saying much.
Yeah, they're projected to be like the second or third worst team in the league.
That's what I'm saying. And having to go in there into New Orleans, I don't think that the Panthers have it. I could be very wrong, but I'll go ahead and take the Saints -4. Maddie has the New York Football Giants at +1.5, and they are hosting the Minnesota Vikings. I think he's probably going with the home dog there. And also Sam Darnold starting doesn't hurt. And Maddie also has the Bengals -8.5 at home versus the Patriots.
I don't know. That just seems like a sneaky Sam Darnold plays really well game.
Yeah,
you'll forget he's throwing to Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think there are a ton of weapons on that Vikings team, but
dude, I think I
also think that the Jefferson Giants are not going to be as bad as everybody thinks.
I not like maybe like second round is when I got Justin Jefferson, which is crazy.
That is wild. Moving to the afternoon games. Who you got, buddy?
I got Bucks -3.5 at home against the Commanders. I'm really high on Baker Mayfield this year, and I just think Jaden Daniels on the road first game of the season, that's tough. I'm happy that Caleb Williams is playing at home.
That is true. I think that we've talked about this a million times. I'm such a Baker Mayfield fan. It's that
still got Mike Evans. There's going to be a decent team.
The half-point hook there does scare me because I feel like this is a field goal game if Washington is what everybody thinks they could be.
But that really relies on Jaden Daniels, and they didn't make that many changes in offense.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Who else you got?
Cowboys +2.5 at Browns. I don't think the Browns are going to be good this year, and I want Deshaun Watson not to be good too.
We are so you and Maddie are on the exact opposite sides. Maddie's got the Commanders +3.5 and the Browns -2.5 here. I actually also have the Cowboys. I don't understand how the Cowboys are dogs here. I'll say it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm taking money line for sure.
Everybody has it in their brain because they struggle so much at the end of the season. But like, I feel like Dallas has enough weapons to beat Cleveland's not that much better than that on
No.
paper. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think Dak Prescott's a good playoff quarterback, but like Deshaun Watson has been absolutely terrible for the last 4 years or 3 years, whatever it's been since the lawsuit and stuff. But I know it's on the road, but I just don't think that Dallas is 2.5 points worse than Cleveland. I just don't
I
see
will
it.
take them plus money all day.
I'm gonna make a stupid pick here. I'm gonna take the Denver Broncos +6. They are on the road at Seattle. In Bo Nix, I trust. I think this Denver team is going to be much better than people anticipate. And I also think that Seattle without Pete Carroll is going to be worse than they have been.
So. Oh, yeah. I think they've been living off of his enthusiasm.
Not even enthusiasm. The guy's a football savant. I mean, the guy's been doing this for 40 years.
Well, yeah. It's got to be such a different atmosphere now.
Exactly. Like you said, energy goes a long way there. I just don't. I guess I'm just putting more trust than I probably should into a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix and Sean Payton, but I think they're going to at least keep this close. I don't know if they're going to win this game, but I think it's going to stay close.
Sunday night.
Yep. Detroit is -4.5.
I am going to take the Lions -4.5 at home against the Rams. Dude, I think this is going to be an amazing season for the Lions, and 4.5 at home is not bad for them.
It's going to be regression. They peaked last year. Give me the Rams +4.5. I think the Rams are going to be sneaky pretty good this year. Jared Goff ain't getting any younger. I think the Rams.
Neither is Matthew Stafford, my friend.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong there.
If you're going to say that, that's the wrong quarterback to be cheering for.
Oh, I still think even regression-wise, I'd still trust Matthew Stafford more than Jared Goff.
No, I'm just saying. You're just saying he's getting older. Well, so is Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know. I just see. It might just be my old brain and knowing how bad the Lions have been my whole life. Like, I just don't see them being good and successful 2 years in a row.
Other than being in the division, I would like them to be good.
Monday night, we've got the Jets going to the 49ers. 49ers -4.5. What are you thinking?
49ers -4.5 is what I'm taking. This Jets team is in shambles right now.
No, they are not.
Dude, they are not. They are
it's
not.
All New York media nonsense.
I'm not even saying it's just a quarterback. I'm just saying all together. I don't think it's just a good coaching staff. So, I just think overall, the Jets are just not going to be as good as they want to be this year. And the 49ers come out early at home. I like the 2 Monday night games, honestly.
I know I said it earlier, I could go either way, but I wouldn't hate 2 Monday night games.
It's just like, there's 2 games. And
yeah, I'll take the Jets +4.5. I think this is just make or break for so many people.
Well, yeah, he's only got a few years left. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and if it doesn't go well, I think Salah's out. So, I also just the 49ers can't stay that good for. I mean, Kittle's not getting any younger. All their weapon. I know McCaffrey.
But they can because they got all their weapons back.
Yeah, McCaffrey's banged up right now. He's a questionable, I think.
So then they'll give the ball to Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game, and I think that's what. There's a lot going on here. Is Hassan Reddick still not going to play?
I don't know. Like that's the same thing with Jamar Chase. Is he going to play?
He's listed as reserve DNR contract dispute.
Yeah, you don't know.
Christian McCaffrey, questionable with a calf.
Did not know that you cannot buy a Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey.
Yeah, that's so stupid. That whole Fanatics nonsense has been ridiculous. You guys dodged a bullet not taking him.
I also think, his dad signed his name or something on the contract.
Oh, really? I did not see that. Sorry, I forgot to update everybody. On Sunday night, Maddie's got the Rams +4.5 and the Jets on Monday night +4.5. So, yeah, make sure you check in. We'll update everybody next week. What's going on there? Pigoy hasn't sent his picks in yet, so
Well, and
we'll see.
we'll definitely have a full breakdown next week of every game.
Definitely.
Like we
We'll do
always
a
do.
recap and then we will look ahead to the following week's games. Let's wrap things up like we always do, Zach. We've got the TCF top 3 college football stadiums. This is one I feel like we've done in the past. We had to have. We've been doing TCF top 3s for 5 years now. So this has to be one that we've done. And with my trip tomorrow or today when this episode comes out to Notre Dame Stadium, we've got the top football stadiums. Do you want to go first?
Yes, I will go first. And it is Tiger Stadium, LSU. I would love to go there with just a bunch of friends. Just seems like an awesome atmosphere.
Yeah, that's hard to argue with, especially on a night game. I hate LSU with a burning passion.
I don't have a college football team, and I really don't care. I like watching it, but I don't really like have like a real rooting interest. So I think it'd be cool to go there.
I will take the Swamp. Everybody knows I'm a Florida fan, but like I think that even
Looking it up though, what's it actually called?
Ben Hill Griffith Stadium.
Is he like a guy who spends a lot of money there?
Yeah, something like that. But I'll take the Swamp first round. I think that I don't know, Zach. You admit that's probably one of the top 5.
I probably wouldn't want to go there, but if you're a big fan of it, I can see why.
Wait, you wouldn't think that that's like a top 5, top 10 stadium in college football?
I'd say it's top 10, yeah, top 5, but I wouldn't want to go.
Too hot?
Yeah, it's just Florida.
Yeah.
Not really a fan of Florida.
In just the whole state in general.
When I get old, I'm not going to Florida.
Yeah, well, we'll have to keep doing this show via this because I love Florida.
I'd rather go to like somewhere where it's a little bit cooler.
Nah, as hot as it can be. I hate doing this, but the big house at Michigan, I got to take. I mean, it's 105,000 people.
I will go with Kyle Field. I was watching the Busting with the Boys. They were there, and they did like a tour of it. That place is amazing.
We actually were talking about this last week. At
only behind Michigan is it the most capacity.
No, it has more than Michigan. We looked it up.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. I think we looked it up, me and my brother last weekend. Michigan's like historically listed at like 105,000. Kyle Field was like 108,000 or 100.
Yeah, they said they'll get like 110 with standing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They have the like 12 suites pretty much. I think they said you have to donate $1 million.
Oh,
and you had to be signed up for at least 3 years.
My only complaint is Texas A&M is like a weird cult school.
It's still a cool stadium.
Yeah, the additions they've done there have been pretty insane.
And then I will go I get to go my last one, right?
Yep.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of where I want to go with this. You know what? I'll go with it. Ohio Stadium, dude. That place looks insane too.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with.
It's one of those things I want to go with, like just the atmosphere too.
Oh, for sure. And they've been so good for so long. What more can you say? You know, so many wins there. My last pick, I'm so torn right here. Give me. I hate them, but Clemson has to be in the conversation. Death Valley, the original Death Valley that LSU stole from them.
Oh yeah,
with the hill that they run down. I hate Clemson. I hate Dabo Swinney, but that's a hell of a stadium.
The problem is you gotta go there and Dabo's running down there like he's a player.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to say that, but I just hate Dabo so much.
I know.
I couldn't say it. But
because I'll be honest,
that's probably top 5, top 10.
My 4th pick would have been like Boise State. I love the original blue turf.
I think Rose Bowl Stadium would be sweet.
Yeah. I also had Oregon on my list. I've always liked their stadium.
Kinnick Stadium, where I walked by probably about 50 times, never went into.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I've been to the one at Wisconsin. That's a pretty solid place.
Oklahoma Memorial Stadium.
Appalachian State, the one that's like nestled in the forest, that one's up there. That's
Where
insane.
Oklahoma plays would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Have you seen the pictures of? I think it's actually Appalachian State's baseball stadium has a cooler background than their football stadium, but that's that's up there. Actually, BYU is another one I probably would have put close to that list because it's got like the mountains in the background, you know. But then again, it's BYU, so there's a ton we missed here. But what can you do? Maybe the new Ryan Field.
Tough. A lot of stadiums for top 3.
Absolutely. Let us know what we missed, what your top 3 is. And as always, guys, we appreciate you joining us. This is episode 232. Make sure you check us out on X at typical_Chicago, Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you give those pages a like, subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars wherever you get your podcasts at. You can find me on X at Booming TCF, and of course Zach at Z Alilia TCF. We'll be back next week to recap week 1 of the NFL, give our week 2 picks, some college football stuff, and to pick up and see if the Cubs are looking any better than they are right now. So make sure you join us next week. We appreciate you guys joining us. As always, that was episode 232 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.